Hello and good afternoon out there. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Hoops Talk. I'm your host, Mike DuPont. Thanks for tuning in on whatever channel you might be following along. On Instagram at Mike Dup, on Facebook at Mike DuPont II, or if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe at Mike Is Kinda Funny. So let's just dive right in. Today is Friday, January 3rd. Last night, we'll recap a few pieces of hoops action. Let's start with our juicy lock. If you remember, for our friends in Vegas, Vegas had the total between Minnesota and Golden State at 221.5, so they had the total score. They had the score totaling 221.5. Just to break that down, that means they had both teams combining to score 221.5 total points. If you tuned in to yesterday's episode, we did advise you to take the under with Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins both listed on the injury report and not expected to play. We did advise you to take the under, and Minnesota got a win over the Golden State Warriors 99-84. I'll let you do the math for yourself there. Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins did not play. Robert Covington and Shabazz Napier led the way for Minnesota. Robert Covington finished with 20 points, 10 rebounds. Shabazz Napier had 20 points on 7 of 9 field goal attempts. And so if you did listen to us, if you did go ahead and put money down on the under, congratulations to you. Hopefully we made you a few bucks. If we did, drop a note in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. However, you might be following along on Facebook, on Instagram, or on YouTube. If we were able to help you with your friends in Vegas, go ahead and drop a line in the comments. Just let us know. You don't have to give us too many details. Just let us know who you took. Let us know what you put your bet down on, and let us know how it worked out for you. Looking ahead, a few other quick recaps from last night. We're in the Southwest area, so recapping a few games from the Southwest Division. The Dallas Mavericks got a win over the Brooklyn Nets. We won't go too far into detail by now. Hopefully you've already gotten your recaps of yesterday. But if you haven't, the Dallas Mavericks did get a victory over the Brooklyn Nets, 123-111. Good for the Dallas Mavericks, keeping pace with the Houston Rockets in the Southwest Division. We'll look at the Houston Rockets later on. They are in action tonight. Also in action from the Southwest Division last night. Unfortunately, another loss for the San Antonio Spurs and another victory for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So however, I guess it depends on perspective, however you're looking at it. Another win for the Oklahoma City Thunder over another team that we just consistently say year after year, there's still time left, there's still games left, and it seems like every year people are giving you a history lesson on the San Antonio Spurs and Greg Popovich. But this year might not be that year. It doesn't look like it. The Oklahoma City Thunder, once again, in top 8 contention in the Western Conference, get a victory over the San Antonio Spurs, keeping them out of top 8 contention. We always talk, if you followed along for the last few weeks, one thing you hear consistently is you got to win the games on your schedule. This was a totally winnable game for the San Antonio Spurs to change their trajectory and how they were moving throughout, how they're moving in the Western Conference standings, and they weren't able to take advantage of it, unfortunately. Looking ahead to tonight's hoops action, we've got a doubleheader on ESPN. The 76ers will be taking on the Houston Rockets. The Los Angeles Lakers are also facing the New Orleans Pelicans. Our juicy lock for the night is going to be that 76ers Rockets game. If you're looking around, Vegas has that game somewhere around 226 points. I'm going to advise you to take the over there. If you're again, we're all adults, we make our own decisions. But if you're listening in for our juicy lock of the day, I would advise you to take the over on the total points between that Philly and Houston game. You might see it anywhere from 224 to 227. If you see it at 224, jump on the over. It's a lead pipe lock. If you see it around 226, 227, it's still, I would advise you, I would say feel comfortable in taking the over. I know the Sixers haven't been scoring well in the last few games. Something to consider is they have been without Joel Embiid for a few of those games. They were definitely without Joel Embiid on New Year's Eve. Joel Embiid is not listed on today's injury report, meaning that he is expected to play by all accounts so far. He is not listed on the Sixers injury report anywhere on ESPN or on the Philadelphia 76 Philadelphia 76ers website, So you can anticipate that Joel Embiid will be playing when you're placing your bets. And the Philadelphia 76ers have shown that they can score the ball when they're fully healthy. They haven't shown us that they can do it consistently, so I would understand your hesitation. But you also got to keep in mind the team they're playing against. They are taking on the Houston Rockets, a team in their last 10 games that's averaging over 116 points per game in their last 10 games. We're talking about a team that knows how to score the ball. We're talking about a team that's not afraid to get shots up. We know Russell Westbrook is not afraid to get shots up. A guy that on any given night can put up 30 shot attempts. We've also got this James Harden guy who can give us 30, who can give you 36 to 39 on any given night, depending on how he's feeling, depending on how the refs are calling it. Like I said, I would think that tonight's, if you're looking for a lock tonight, that would be it. I would advise you to take the over in that 76ers versus Rockets game. It's going to be a 7 o'clock tip on ESPN. I'd love to hear from you. What are you going to be watching for? Are you going to be looking to see? Are you expecting to see more inconsistencies from those Philadelphia 76ers? Are you thinking that the Rockets are starting to find a little bit of rhythm in the dynamic between that backcourt of Russell Westbrook and James Harden? Is this another opportunity to continue building and improving on that overall chemistry? Even though they have history together, we're starting to see that chemistry gel and mesh in that backcourt. We're starting to see it on a more consistent, more regular basis. Is that something that you'll be looking for tonight? I'd love to hear from you. Drop a note in the comments however you're following along. Also, don't forget about that Lakers-Pelicans game, the significance of it. Anthony Davis taking on his former team. He was not listed in the injury report. That does not mean that he's expected to play. It just means as of right now he's not listed in the injury. He's not expected not to play. He's not expected to sit. But that does not mean that he will be playing. Another person who will not be playing, don't hold your breath, Zion Williamson still out. Williamson did begin taking part in practice with the Pelicans, but he in contact practices with the Pelicans. He's not expected back. He's not on any type of timetable. He's not expected back anytime soon. Just for a quick update. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. At this point in time, this is something we talked about a few weeks ago. Is it more viable to shut Zion down for the duration of the season, for the remainder of the season? If you're thinking more if you're thinking more along the lines of what's best for Zion, at this point, can he still get into that Rookie of the Year race if he were to come back? If you were just to give him a hypothetical 2-week timetable and he were to come back sometime within the next 2 to 3 weeks, do you still think he could be in that Rookie of the Year race? Do you still think there's enough time to maybe move Ja Morant and other guys, maybe Ryu and RJ Barrett, guys like that, Kendrick Nunn, let's not forget him as well? Is there still time to move guys like that out of the Rookie of the Year picture? Drop a note in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, however you might be following along. Whether you're following on Instagram at Mic'd Up, whether you're following along on Facebook at Mike DuPont II, or if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe at Mike is Kinda Funny. Thanks for tuning in. Have a blessed day.